Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Fabs in the house. And today I've got the Shirogorov NL here with me in a Maroon Micarta inlay for a review. We're gonna analyze the look, the sound and the feel of this guy, but first of all, let's see how big this guy is. 7.5, 7.6 inch long overall with a 3.35 inch long blade and a 4.2 inch long handle. So not that big actually. For example, let's compare it up against a couple classic over here. We've got the Ontario Rat number 2, smaller than that, and guess what? Yeah, Ontario Rat number 1, pretty big boy indeed. So right in between these two guys, it's even a little bit bigger than the Para 3. But only overall, because the handle is kinda like smaller, a little bit shorter, and the blade is longer. Look at that, really nice blade to handle ratio. Spyderco Paramilitary 2, of course, big boy right over there. And what else do we have? Of course, why can't we cannot forget the Shirogorov F95 R Slim, bigger brother of that. This is another 3.5 inch long blade, Hinder Knives XM18. And let's take in something bigger, even bigger. This is the Reiki Knives Toolay, beautiful G10 Integral, and some other absolutely wonderful blade. This is Holt Bladeworks Spectre V4 in the house. Awesome size. So you can see that the neon is I would say comparable to the size of the 520 over here, Custom Knife Factory by Philippe Georget. A little bit smaller, but very comparable. Of course, we have Cody Usler DUK Daily Utility Knife, beautiful custom knife right over there. And also we've got another smaller here, Olamic Whippersnapper. So again, in between these two offerings. And what else I can show you? Yeah, of course, my beloved Peter Rassenti Nirvana 3.0 in the house. So you get the gist of it. This guy is, it's not a big knife. It's a beautiful one. It's really EDCable. It's one of the cheapest Shirogorov solution because they saved some money. For example, they used Elmax steel. They didn't use like backspacer over here. Like this is the Neon Zero Frag. So they use just a standoff right over here and 3 prongs, I'd say, to maintain the rigidity of the structure right to the end of the heel of the handle. Also, they didn't do any internal milling pockets. They just did some little outlines. Maybe you can see them better like that, you see? It's just outlines. They're not actual milled out pockets like you would have right over here in this Neon Zero. So, but this saves a little bit of weight. We're gonna see that later. So overall, this is a beautiful knife, guys. Look at the design, classic lines, Shirogorov, of course, unmistakable design, nicely done, titanium frame lock. Look at the chamfering going on here, internal chamfering, beautifully rounded off surfaces and edges. It's a classic. It's minimal. It's clean. It's the Neon Shirogorov, so really cool. Simple design, of course, because of the lack of the backspacer. You've got a lanyard hole, which is drilled right over here in the presentation scale, and you have these Maroon Micarta inlays, really nicely done. They're very smooth. You also have an inlay in the back. over here, which is as an extra layer of depth, because here is basically flush and here is protruding nicely to give that extra feel in the grip, which I always like. You've got also, of course, stainless steel lock face insert. You have a nice relief over here to disengage the lock bar like that. Of course, you have over travel stop over there, you know, look at that. That is lock bar stabilizer basically integrated in the lock face insert. Over there you have classic Shirogorov screws, which are basically flush, not that much protruding outside. They're gonna have a really nice feel to it. This is absolutely flush. Disassembly, it's gonna be, you need to be careful because these knives, they run on multi-row bearing system pivots, so which means that there's a cage for bearings, but the bearings are going to be loose and not caged actually. So you have to just pay a little bit more attention when disassembling this guy, but overall it's going to be pretty straightforward. Just be careful not to lose any bearings and you're going to be good to go. Also, another very interesting aspect is the clip. Has a pretty strong tension, I have to say. The clip ramp is very nice, and also you have this pocket, this the lock bar relief cut out, which is gonna help you into sliding this guy into your pocket. So really cool. Of course, 3D mill titanium pocket clip, stone wash finish, nice angled right over here to keep like the same cleanliness of the design going on this part of the knife. Really cool indeed. The blade, in this case, we said it's Elmax steel, which is good to go. I mean, it's not a cheap one. It's a cheaper one compared to M390 for sure, but it's very good steel. This blade is stone wash finish, but it's absolutely incredible how these are stones. They must be pretty using a pretty small medium to achieve this level of look at that, just beautiful. You have nice jimping going on with a micro swedge, I would say, over here. And then basically a little bit of chamfering, no crowning of the spine, and this blade just drops like that. There's an angle over here, and then you have a nice drop point and belly up to probably 70%, straight edge up to the sharpening choil, which reveals, look at this, how thin behind the edge this full flat grind blade, pretty thin stock is. The plunge grind is just the classic Shirogorov plunge grind, fantastic. I really appreciate how they milled out this area here in the flipper tab. Really cool. Couple of jimping lines going on, and of course perfectly integrated into the design when the blade is open. When the blade is closed, basically you can actually do like a push button, but it's not gonna be as nice as this flipper tab. You see, this guy is pointy and this guy has this rounded off area and it's more flat, so this is going to be absolutely a pleasure to do the push button and of course the light switch as well. But in the case of the Neon, you're gonna be better off just doing the light switch, zero finger sore if you do that. If you do push button, of course it's gonna dig in a little bit in your fingertip, but not a huge deal. Of course, we said, you know, the blade is sterile looking, just you're gonna have Elmax steel on this side, so clean, sterile look, nothing obtrusive going on. You only have the logo over here and just MRBS engraved on the inside, so really clean look. I mean, look at this. How cool is that? How clean can a knife be? Maybe can be just cleaner if you have no inlays, yeah, but I mean, it's still really minimal looking and really clean. The sound this guy makes, nice and clicky when you close it. Very discreet and unobtrusive opening. Nice clicky, guys, when you close it. Super sweet and soft closing sound and nice opening. It's really good. I love this. I love when the blade hits the stop pin. It produces a really, really cool sound indeed. The weight in the pocket of this guy is going to be 2.7 ounces, which is lighter than, for example, the Neon Zero, because the Zero has a full titanium backspacer. This guy has nothing, as just like a standoff, of course. The Zero will have some internal pockets, and this guy just some internal milling lines, not actual pockets. So 2.7 ounces is very, very good weight. It's the perfect EDC weight. I think it's kind of can disappear in your pocket. You're not gonna be noticing this guy whatsoever, because it's very, very light, very, very slim. No hot spots going on. Really, really good grip, even if the handle is a little bit on the small side. You've got the jimping, which I really appreciate. It's not too aggressive. It's a little bit on the slippery side, but it's good looking, and it's somewhat functional. Indeed. You cannot choke up because there's not really like a finger choil over here, but the grip is secure and you don't have anything. You have just like here, actually, if you just press it like strong, you're gonna feel a little bit of flex because of the lack of the backspacer, but overall it feels pretty strong. You've got these Maroon Micarta Inlays, which are gonna increase a little bit the thickness of the handle, therefore giving you a little bit more grippiness to your purchase over here. But overall, you're not gonna see any gaps in the Micarta. I mean, fit and finish is Shirogorov level. Of course, no blade play. The clip retention, I would say it's on the strong side. So there's a lot of spring tension going on over here, but you have enough clip ramp not to have any issues sliding this guy in and out of your pocket. Deployment speed is absolutely fast, guys. Look at this. Like super fast, super smooth. You're not gonna have any finger sore if you stick with the light switch. If you're gonna do the push button, yeah, you're gonna struggle a little bit, but light switch, ooh, this guy whips out like crazy. Beautiful bearings going on. Multi-row bearings, actually. Detent strength is on the medium light side, I would say, and when you try to snag the tip with your fingers, you can't, because these prongs are protecting your finger from touching the tip. So really, really cool indeed. I'm not probably a fan of these three prongs. I prefer the cleaner look, for example, where is it, of this guy. You see, this is the F95, which is basically like the bigger brother of that. So there's no prongs over here, and you can't really snag the tip of the blade as well. So I don't know why they did that, but yeah, that's life. Also, the lock bar release is pretty easy because you have a milled out area here and here, so your thumb is gonna easily be able to disengage and just to be able to close the blade. Pretty straightforward. There's no detentable ramp, so you're gonna have a little bit of hard step going on right over here. If you disengage the lock bar like that, you're gonna notice there's a free fall and just wiggle a little bit because this guy still is new and still needs some breaking in period, but I'm pretty confident that this is gonna be pretty guillotine or like gliding close action 100%. So I mean, overall, this is a pretty good solution from Shirogorov if you want to have like a very smallish EDC blade, and relatively inexpensive, because yeah, this is like $550, so not cheap in any ways, but overall looks good, feels good, sounds good, so it's a pretty solid choice. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.